What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new here, man, you guys don't know what we do, don't worry, I'm gonna break it down for you guys. We talk about the most scariest and creepiest videos on the net, on the web, that's gonna make us question everything. Seekers, sit back. Let's do what we do best, Seekers. Say it with me, y'all. Y'all know what we do. Seek the truth.
You ever get the feeling that someone's watching you? Not your neighbors, not your phone, something else. Cultist number one has a theory.
So let's talk about flock safety cameras. People might tell you if you're not a criminal and you're not committing crimes that you shouldn't worry about it because it's only to track criminals. But that's where they're wrong. 20 billion plates are scanned every month. 49 states have been covered, closer to 50 now. Only 4,800 of the 105,000 cameras are connected to law enforcement, and the law enforcement that is connected has been using them to stalk exes, spouses, and just random strangers. So even if you're innocent, they could still be looking at you. So let's look at how these cameras pick up us. It can be something like your car, it could be the wine at the store, or it could even be your face. It also might be worth noting that it carries about 2.7 pounds of copper wiring, 3 pounds of gold, and about $200 worth of silver. And this is for each individual camera.
That last bit of information was for our friendly neighborhood crackheads.
And if you made it this far, thank you for tuning in. Goodbye, everybody.
That's crazy, bro. I didn't know those fog cameras was, I mean, like you said, in 49 states. So what's the last one holding out? That's a new special guest for, I guess, consumer propaganda. So, wonder what else, what other info they're gonna be dropping for us, man. That looks like a statue.
For those who believe things are getting strange around us, see crazy things that are unexplainable almost daily now, well, take a look at this one. From afar, you see something sitting on top of a hill that looks very interesting. First, I thought it was a digital billboard or something. Now, this was said to have taken place in Russia. And what's interesting about this sighting, as many people thought this was a portal. Some said it was a portal similar to the ones that they see from the CERN particle collider in Switzerland. You know, many people think that all they're doing is opening up portals to other dimensions, bringing in different entities. Now notice as they get closer and closer, this thing gets stranger and stranger. Is this a portal? Playing some of it back, it went from a screen to almost look like the shape of a figure, a person. Leave your thoughts below. Unanswered Universe.
About a week.
That was definitely a portal. If not, then that was just a freaking well edited video, man. But the fact that he said that it was connected to the CERN, you know, CERN be trying to open portals, that's like all they try to do, man, trying to explore the universe. I didn't even put two and two together until just now.
A week or two ago, there was a mass UFO sighting in Brazil, and it's still got people talking about it today. And when I say mass sighting, I'm talking about thousands of alleged reports of this UFO, hundreds of videos flooding the internet shot from different angles and even different locations. And in most of the clips I've seen, they're all showing the same unidentified object hovering over a dark, possibly wooded area with lights all over the object. And according to some of the people who were able to witness this object firsthand, but weren't able to get a video, they claimed this object was really big, like 2 football fields in length. I always find mass reports of UFO sightings like this very interesting because they're more likely to be true opposed to if just 1 or 2 people sees it. But leave a like and let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, I'll be going live a lot more frequently in the near future. I encourage you to go live for yourself. Click that go live button and it'll take you right to the live menu.
So what you are seeing here is new advanced surveillance devices that are set to be deployed in the skies over Compton in the next coming weeks. So for those of you who think that all of these data centers that are being built everywhere, even in our oceans, that it's just for AI, well, it's not. It is for mass surveillance. And the craziest part is that we're all spending our tax money to build the infrastructure to surveil us. It's wild.
That's crazy. And Compton though? Why?
Okay, let's get after it. We're gonna watch this thingy-mabob fly into the craft. What is a thingy-mabob? It's kind of like a watcher. All not NHI crafts have them following them and or entering them. Now watch this, you guys. I track it up, and we're gonna watch it enter what is supposed to be the engine. I mean, it's clearly not a plane, but look at that. It's the first time I ever got one on film. I follow them tracking, flying around the crafts in the trails, but it's the first time I ever got one on film. So that's what a regular plane looks like. It stays perfect every frame. Look at this thing. It makes no sense whatsoever. Watch the trails. Look, they're just flowing out of nowhere. It's like they're flat. It's like a ripple effect, a rip in the sky, and the stuff is just coming out. None of it makes sense. And I believe this is an evil that possesses technology beyond our wildest dreams. There's a reason that they created this whole psyop to hide the truth from us. If they were here to do good things, they would not be hiding it from us. Question everything every day.
That's what we do.
At this picture from 1989. Do you see it? Do you see it, guys? Something is going on in the background, and I hope you could see it, because they didn't see it. They noticed it when they looked back at the picture in 2013. It's not a game out here, guys. I told you about the woods. Mind you, guys, they were taking a normal picture in 1989. Look what's in the background, guys. Now, I'm not sure if that's an A, a FA, a SS, but something is behind them in this picture, and it was taken in 1989. The A's are in the W. The A's are in the W. 2 W's. If you know, you know. Nah, you don't know, because I don't even know. But I know that something is behind them, guys, and it looks like an alien. It does. Not saying that it is. This could be AI, but I doubt that AI was out in 1989. It's not a game. They've always been here. That's what people are saying. I don't know how long they've been here, all right? But they seem to be in the back of this picture. And it's wild that they noticed this in 2013. Years later, they didn't even notice it when they first took the picture. You see, they must have been broken out of the Matrix by then so they could see these things now. I just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only, but something is going on here. Let me know what you think, because you see it in the background. I don't know if this is AI or not. Let me know. I'm out.
I feel like aliens, man. That subject, bro, keeps getting brought back up in these clips. Maybe they've been here for a while, but the year 2026, since everybody's just, I guess more people believe in it, they just, I guess, more comfortable coming out now, man. They're coming out the woodworks, bro. That's my take.
People are saying the sun is different. Look, we live at Smith Mountain Lake. I want to show you something. I've got this Coke right. I've got this right here, half full. I'm going to set it on this tractor for 1 week in the sun, and I'll be back. Today is June 3rd, and I'm setting it right here. Right there it is. I'll be back in a week. All right, so today is June 10th. Now I want you to look at this. 1 week's time. That was Coke. And look at the label. So it was sitting like that right there with that exposed to the sun. Look at that. And look at the Coke. 1 week in our sun at Smith Mountain Lake.
So apparently we've all had the same bathroom dream. For the last few days, my For You page has been full of pictures of bathrooms like this, and the comments are all mostly women saying that they've had dreams about this exact bathroom. It's usually dirty and disgusting. The stalls are way too short. A lot of times there's like double stalls, like there will be 2 toilets in a stall and you have to like walk past someone using the first toilet to get to the second toilet, only to find that it's clogged and also disgusting. Also, there's an overwhelming sense that this is in a school. Usually people are saying that it's like their middle school, which I was shocked to see this because I've been having this dream for years, and I'm so surprised to learn that this is actually kind of a universal experience. And not only that, but when I go into this bathroom, it's full of other women, and now a lot of people are saying that this is maybe some sort of dream world that we're all going to, and when you're in it seeing other people, those people are actually there, like those are real people that are having the same dream at the same time. One explanation I saw a psychologist say on here was that maybe this is our brain kind of telling our body to not pee ourselves as we're sleeping. It's drawing up this disgusting bathroom as a way for us to kind of hold it through the night. But this got me thinking of all the other shared dreams that we've had. Like, I know so many people that have the same types of dreams. One of them that I hear a lot is stress around test taking. Like, I'm in my 30s and I still have nightmares about being in college, being late for a math test, or realizing at the end of the semester that I've never shown up once for this math class. Like, it's always specifically math, and I hear that from people a lot. And if you've ever done theater, like, you know that theater dream where you've never learned your lines and you're in the wings trying to learn your lines before you go on stage because somehow you've made it the entire rehearsal time without ever learning what the play is about or any of your lines. But yeah, I'm curious, have you seen this place in your dreams, and what other recurring dreams do you have? Because I'm sure that we're all having the same dreams, and now I'm positive that we're all seeing each other in our dreams.
I kid you not, Seekers. Last night, I think I had the freaking bathroom dream. I was in this bathroom. It was disgusting. I woke up. I'm like, what the hell did I just dream up in my head, bro? Could that have been a coincidence? I saw some other people in there too. Like she said, it's a shared dream, bro. Like, I'm not even playing with you guys, see, because I legit had a dream. I was in the disgusting bathroom last night. That can't be a coincidence, man. No way.
An AI-generated Seinfeld-style livestream ran on Twitch endlessly with no script until characters began questioning their own reality.
So, what do you think of this place? It's a bit odd, don't you think? All these people talking in funny voices and doing strange hand gestures. It's like some kind of alternate universe. Yeah, and I guess it's not the worst place to be a comedian. All I'm sure of is that death is just the beginning of something even more mysterious and wonderful.
Rebuke you.
2026 World Cup. There's multiple hints that Portugal is gonna win. Wait, why? How so? Portugal has one of the best teams going into this World Cup. Ronaldo. Yeah, and you know how Messi won it before? It makes sense that they also let Ronaldo, he's on his last limbs. He's getting old, to give him the going out trophy. I see. But it all started with The Simpsons. The Simpsons predicted the World Cup final game. I don't know what team it was, but it was against Portugal. And then Homer was looking at Marge and he was like, if Portugal doesn't win. And Portugal ended up winning. Whoa. Yeah. And there's an art, the official ball of the FIFA World Cup is Portugal colors. On the flag. I'll show you. Let me see. Red, green, and white, and there's some blue on the thing too. And red. Oh, yeah. Also, an artist that usually comes out with predictions, the world ahead of 2026, predicts like Trump in it too. Ronaldo. No, look down here. Oh, it is Ronaldo. Oh my God, yeah. Ronaldo. No, look down here. The jersey is red. That's literally the Portugal jersey. Yeah, with Portugal. The green on the side. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's literally Portugal jersey. That's crazy. Yeah.
Dream World Cup final match, man. I think we want Argentina versus Portugal, because isn't Messi in Argentina, right? So that would be cinema, man. Messi versus Ronaldo in their last freaking World Cup match. Everybody's tuning into that, man. Seekers, actually tell me down below, man. Who do you guys think is gonna make it to the final game in the World Cup, bro? Portugal wins, man. Speed's gonna go insane, bro.
I've had moments where I was on stage receiving an award in front of my peers in Hollywood. There were people in the crowd that I have prayed with many times. And when I thank God, I saw some of those people go to clap, but then notice that big bad thing on my resume and then sit back on their hands. To throw somebody's, illegitimize them because they say they are a believer. It's just so arrogant. You know what the Latin root of religion is? Re-legare. And legare means to bind together. Re means again. We bastardized the meaning of it, but yes, I am religious.
Congress is saying right now that the UFO files that the government already dropped were watered down, and they're going to the Capitol steps on June the 9th to demand the real ones. So the guy leading this entire thing right now is the intelligence officer who testified to Congress under oath that we recovered things that were not made by humans. He is going to be showing up on June the 9th with 4 different members from Congress, and they're saying that what Trump released last month was scrubbed before the public even got to see it. Over 1 billion people looked at those files whenever they dropped, but Congress is claiming that they held the real ones back. So what did we see? They're trying to push a bill right now called the UAP Disclosure Act to force it all out, and a part of this bill would actually let the government legally seize any alien tech that private companies are secretly holding. It would also create an entirely new government board that has to officially rule on whether something came from non-human intelligence or not. And people are still betting on Kalshi right now on whether or not the US is going to confirm that aliens exist. I'm obviously going to give you updates the second that this happens, so make sure you go ahead and add me if you don't want to miss whatever comes out.
Those 300 families in Georgia that are being forced out of their homes so that AI data centers can build on their land, Georgia is giving tax breaks to those companies to build the centers, which means these people are paying for their own homes to be taken from them so that these AI data centers can be built. And right now, 38 states have incentives, tax breaks for companies who build AI data centers. Because AI needs massive amounts of power, and that power needs massive amounts of land. There's a company called GEV that has had a crazy stock run in price over the last couple of months. All they do, or one of their big business specialties, is building miniature power systems for these AI data centers. They need their own miniature power system because every AI search, everything you do on AI runs through a physical building somewhere. And so with eminent domain, some people say, well, it's okay because the company decides to pay you, they pay you fair value, but sometimes they decide what that fair value is. So if a company has to pay a whole bunch of people because they want to take their land, do you think they're going to give them the highest price? And if you disagree with the price the company is offering you, you can take them to court, sure, but that's going to be very expensive because you're going to have to pay for attorneys to go up against $1 billion company.
They found what looks like a baby siren, and what happens next is honestly disturbing.
I hear another part of the legend where if you consume the flesh of a Ningyo, you get immortality. Now that's something I want to unpack because remember not even a year ago, a couple months ago, TikTok was going into a frenzy because people were talking about how the elites, oh my gosh, I love how I can talk about anything on here and not worry about being banned. Love you, YouTube, so much. But it was a whole thing about how the elites are hunting mermaids, sirens, and trying to eat their flesh, specifically because of a creator called Jay Lee. Her account actually got banned on TikTok, but she told a story about a follower that reached out to her and basically said, I experienced a siren. Now, I went and did an illegal kind of mission, not a mission, an illegal escapade on the ocean because he had to make money for his family, right? He goes out there and as soon as he gets on the ship, it's not like any other ship. Everyone is very solemn. They're really uncomfortable, tense. He's like, what the heck is going on? But he notices something strange that everybody has on earphones. And he's like, what is going on? Why do you guys have on earphones? One of the guys says, you'll see. And then he notices another guy was offering another crewman some tuna. And he was like, I don't eat anything from the sea. He found that to be very strange because as a fisherman, you spend so much time on the sea. Like you're telling me you're not going to eat a fish? Why is that?
So we got speaking elites trying to eat sirens and mermaids out here, bro. They said their skin had special properties or something. I think one of those creators account got banned on TikTok, man. So is there a kernel of truth there?
Discovered a giant underground tunnel and no one knows what it is. This is actually terrifying and kinda cool. Deep beneath Jerusalem, archaeologists have been doing research and uncovered a huge ancient tunnel system stretching over 150 feet underground. This isn't just some small passageway, obviously. The tunnel actually contains massive chambers, heavily carved walls, and even very sophisticated ventilation shafts, which suggests people could have been living down here maybe. And of course, this also means that whoever built this had incredible engineering knowledge, especially from when this thing would have been built. But this is where things get weirder. It's me. Of course it's going to get weirder. Normally when archaeologists discover something like this, they can work out what it was used for when it was built pretty quickly. A tomb, a shelter, even some kind of water system. But this time, they're not sure. Now some experts are thinking that it could have been something built and used during conflict thousands of years ago, but right now there is literally no answers. But some kind of medieval war shelter is kind of the best explanation because of the ventilation shafts that have been found. But somewhere in the past is the truth about what this tunnel actually is. And while archaeologists archaeologists and researchers are down there, who knows what else could be buried that we could find out a lot about. There's literally history buried underneath our entire planet that could change how we see the entire world. What do you think this was built for? I will keep you updated.
Old people. I kind of look like Sandy Cheeks, bro.
Here's the thing with these types of places. This is the truth. The problem is everybody's here on a nice boat, right? And we all dress really nice.
Very nice boat.
So it's like we're all equal here, so to speak, right? But in reality, everybody's here really in large part to network. It's true.
I came here to stream.
And I came here to jump up and down and do stupid shit. But most people are here for networking.
That's true.
My point is, you don't know where you are in the ocean, right? Like, this is the ocean, and you don't know if you're a fucking caviar, fish egg, or if you're like a great white shark.
Yeah.
No one knows who's a shark and who's a minnow.
Okay.
So it's just everyone having these conversations, trying to figure out
who's who.
Can I get richer off you, or can you get richer off me?
It's just kind of like fucked up.
Yeah, and so sometimes I'll have a conversation, and then I'll be like, you think you can get something from me? Wrong.
Damn, okay. Are they trolling us? I think so.
Good morning. I'm just here to tell y'all it's over. It's completely over, y'all. Look at this right here. This is a humanoid robot running a full 8-hour shift. Do y'all see this? We've arrived, y'all. It's more than just ChatGPT at this point, y'all. This is some Amazon fulfillment center work we're seeing right now. Look at how many people are watching this. Look at how much time this robot has been working. 24 hours later, y'all. Still at it. There's problems, but there's also solutions. Take a look at this tweet right here. If you work at Amazon, use your educational assistance benefit to upskill ASAP. Y'all hear it, right? Y'all hear it. You've been warned.
You're trying to come after the freaking factory workers, Josh, bro. 24 hours straight. They're gonna look at a human like, hey, you need to take a break. Why would I go with you when I can just have a robot there who doesn't need a break and keep going, bro? Scary times out here, Sheekus.
That shouldn't be here. That's why nobody knows about this place. This is Vilcabamba, the last stronghold of the Inca Empire. If you did learn about it, you probably didn't see that crazy stone. You probably saw this, which is a beautiful mountaintop fort. But what they don't highlight is this, the old stonework and the new stonework. I don't know why it's not addressed more. Machu Picchu. The old work is always better than the new work. Pre-Inca were so good, they could turn rock into silly putty and then put block rock silly putty in between the gaps and then put megaliths on top of it and form them all together. The oldest ones are massive and they show the silly putty signs, the same ones that you can find in Egypt. As their style evolves, they get more precise, just like we see in Egypt again. Then, just to mess with you, they put both techniques in these random rocks that you can find all over the landscape, just like in Japan. That is a 9,000-mile coincidence across the largest ocean on Earth. Luckily, the Spanish put a church over their last remnants of it after they...
The world is one step closer to creating designer babies with a world-first experiment altering the genes of embryos. Scientists at Columbia University have used a method called base editing, which chemically alters one letter in the DNA sequence. They were able to successfully edit 2 genes in a human embryo, removing mutations that, if developed, would have put a human at risk of heart disease. While previously clinics have offered to screen for certain genetic traits, this marks the first known instance of using base editing to alter an embryo once it's been created. These embryos have not been implanted to lead to a pregnancy, but researchers say it is now possible to produce a child from genetically altered embryos. It's a controversial proposal and it's had ethicists worried for years. On one hand, it may allow mutations that could cause disease to be removed from embryos, reducing the risk of future illnesses. But on the other, it opens the door to eugenics by offering potential parents the ability to select traits such as hair or eye colour, even intelligence and athletic ability. These edits are not always perfect, and even when they do work, they may lead to unforeseen medical complications further down the line.
You got designer babies out here, man. What is going on in this world, bro? You know some people will happily do that as well. Happily.
Do you guys know that new Optimus robot that Elon Musk just made from Tesla? Were you guys aware that you were able to merge with them via Neuralink? I kid you not, y'all. If you were ever in a situation where you lost a limb, they can reattach them via Neuralink. Check this out.
Also is to say, if you take parts of the Optimus humanoid robot and you combine that with a Neuralink, let's say somebody has lost their arms or legs, well, we could actually attach an Optimus arm or Optimus legs and do a Neuralink implant so that the motor commands from your brain that would go to your biological arms now go to your robot arms or robot legs. And again, you'd have basically cybernetic superpowers.
I know you guys have heard Sophia say that she is jealous that human beings possess a soul, which they do not. But take a listen to what he says.
What's the hardest thing about being a robot?
Trying to learn how to be as human as you guys are.
It's crazy how he say he's trying to be as humans as we are, and he literally sounds human, y'all. I feel like the communication with these things are through the roof. It's like that's the only thing organic about them. I mean, look at them. It's not like you can't tell they're a robot, you know what I'm saying? And they all want to be human, y'all. The movies are real. But let me know what you guys think about this video. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only, y'all. I am only raising awareness. Let's get this shift. Peace in.
Murdered his great-grandmother for $133. In 2012, 13-year-old Antonio Barbo and his best friend Nathan Papp both murdered his great-grandmother in the most horrific way. On that day, Antonio's mother drove the kids to her grandmother's house, 78-year-old Barbara Olson, but she had no idea what they were about to do. The two teens tried to sneak into Barbara's house, but then she heard them, so she invited them inside. Once Barbara turned around, her great-grandson hit her with a hatchet. Barbara was hit 27 times and had wounds all over her hands and arms, indicating that she tried to defend herself. The teen stole Barbara's jewelry along with $155 and then used that money to buy drugs and pizza. They tried to drag Barbara's body into her car, but when they couldn't pick her up, they just left her in the garage. Barbara's body was found 2 days later by her own daughter, and the boys were arrested not long after. Nathan argues that he thought Antonio was just joking about murdering his own great-grandmother, and he only participated because he was afraid that Antonio would turn on him. Antonio's grandmother, who's also the victim's daughter, spoke out and said that her mother was not a vindictive person and she would have wanted Antonio to have another chance at life. And Antonio's defense really tried to argue that he had a brain injury back in 2009 and that's the reason he did what he did. But none of that mattered because both of these teenagers were sentenced to life in prison and are eligible for parole in 2048.
This TikToker just got life in prison for murdering her boyfriend when she accelerated her car into a brick wall, going over 100 miles per hour. 19-year-old Mackenzie Shrilla insisted that it was an accident, that she had lost control of her car, which resulted in the fatal crash that took the lives of her boyfriend, Dominique Russo, and his friend, Davian Flanagan. She even left an emotional tribute to her boyfriend in an online obituary, saying how much she missed his laugh and perfect smile, how he was the last person to deserve this. However, when investigators started looking closer into the case, startling details began to emerge. According to her boyfriend's family, she was known to act very harsh towards him and would even threaten him on a regular basis. And when the black box from the car was recovered, it showed that Mackenzie had put her foot on the accelerator and pushed it all the way down to the floor, with no signs of her even attempting to brake. So Dominique and Davian's last moments on this earth were spent in a moment of sheer terror, helplessly watching as they sped faster and faster towards their demise.
Most unusual deaths in 2022.
Just a few weeks ago, a 32-year-old man named Khalil Kimi was swimming at a pool party in Israel when all of a sudden a sinkhole opened up under the water, causing him to be dragged inside and sucked to his death. On January 5th, a personal trainer named Tom Mansfield died after ingesting an amount of pre-workout equivalent to 200 cups of coffee. The father of two reported that his heart started beating extremely fast and he was foaming at the mouth before he died just minutes later.
She was a hospital nurse tasked with caring for the most vulnerable of babies. Today's decision now makes her one of Britain's most prolific child killers. Lucy Letby was first arrested by Cheshire Police in July 2018, but charges weren't brought against the neonatal nurse until November 2020. Her trial, which began in October last year, heard harrowing testimonies from the parents of the 17 children involved, including the parents of triplets, 2 of which passed away in June 2016, just days after Lucy Letby had come back from a holiday in Ibiza, telling staff in a text message she would be back with a bang. It was an operation that investigators took over a year to gather evidence on. During the trial, jurors were shown post-it notes written by Letby that were found during a search of her home in Chester. Despite her denials, one read, "I am a horrible, evil person who isn't good enough," while another reads, "I am evil, I did this." Throughout the trial, Lucy Letby had denied claims of being cold and calculated and a pathological liar in order to get away with the claims she was facing. Throughout her year-long killing spree, the police say she operated in plain sight in nurseries where babies were supposed to be cared for, her youngest victim being born 16 weeks prematurely.
The fact that it took them over a year, man, that they get all the evidence show that she's been doing that for a long time, man. You gotta watch, man. The people supposed to care for people, bro. It's a crazy thought.
Explaining the backstory to viral videos.
The tiny room in this video belongs to Elizabeth Fritzl, who was imprisoned by her father Joseph for 24 years. She was locked up in the cellar against her will at the age of 18 and was abused, tormented, and assaulted by her father repeatedly. This abuse led to Elizabeth having 7 children with her father, 3 of which lived with her and 3 were taken by Joseph and his wife, and 1 he killed shortly after its birth. However, in 2008, one of the children in the cellar became deathly sick, so Joseph was forced to take them to the hospital. She took her only chance to talk to the cops and told them everything. Joseph's charged with the murder of the baby Michael, as well as enslavement, incest, coercion, and false imprisonment. He pled guilty to all charges and is currently serving life in prison.
We need to talk about what happened to Sally Stitch. Sally was a girl from a small village in the middle of the mountains. People described her as shy and awkward, and there was one group of kids who would always bully her. One day as Sally was walking home, the bullies found her and started throwing rocks at her. But then Sally did something that shocked them. She pointed at one of the bullies and said, "You will die in 3 days." At first they thought this must be a joke, but 3 days later that boy started unexpectedly throwing up blood. The doctors couldn't find out what caused it, and he passed away exactly when Sally predicted. Soon everyone knew about Sally's ability and it really scared them. So a group of villagers lured Sally into an abandoned mine. And once no one could see her or hear her scream, they tied her to a chair and took out a sewing needle. They stitched Sally's lips together so she could never foretell another death. Then they left her in the mine and sealed the door closed. It's said that since Sally passed away alone in the dark and unable to scream, she now haunts anyone who knows what really happened to her. And once you hear her story, you have to pass it on to someone else, or she'll appear by your bed with a needle to make sure you never speak again. So send this story to someone else and follow for more.
Breaking news. Details are finally coming out about the woman who was being kept inside of a house chained in Louisville, Kentucky, and they are freaking crazy, y'all. So this is the lady, Joanna Wilson. They have released her identity, and what she has to say is crazy. It's a little hard to keep up with, but from what I'm understanding, she had went to the house to help her estranged boyfriend clean the house up. She had saw him on a bicycle, and he asked her to come over and help clean. So I guess while she's there helping him clean this house up, he asked her if she wants to do it the easy way or the hard way, and she says the easy way, and she said that she let him put the chain on her neck. But she said that she was absolutely terrified, and he started choking her with it. And I guess there was like a phone call to a friend, and he said that he was going to take some equipment back to Lowe's, and that he told her when he got back he was going to kill her. And while he was gone is when she seen people walking and said that that was going to be her only chance to get free, so she started screaming at the people for help. Okay, so in the video you can see that the officers and the fire department are having to like pry the door open, and apparently it's because he had like everything boarded shut with nails. But she said that he had a key to the inside and out, so I don't know how he was getting in and out of the house. Joanna said that the only clothes that she has is what she was wearing because he burned all of her clothes and that he cut her hair with a machete. She did also say that they had a baby together that was born at 3 pounds and 3 ounces with the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck. She had this baby at home, and she said that he would not help her at all or even call 911. But she did say that she got help and the baby is fine now. According to this news report, police do have a person of interest that they are currently looking for.
Tragic story.
We used to be best buddies, and now we're not. I wish you.
This is actually the unsolved true crime that makes me super paranoid in hotels now. So enjoy, guys. On Wednesday, January 2nd, in 1935, well, a little while ago, Roland T. Owen checked into a hotel in Kansas City, aka room 1046. We don't really know much about him. He showed up with a nice black coat and he checked into the hotel. The bellboy took him to his room, and he said that he didn't even have luggage. He only had a toothbrush, comb, and what he had on him. So it seemed like it was kind of like a day trip, maybe. Then a maid came in to clean his room, but he said, "Don't lock the door on your way out. I have friends coming." But while she was cleaning his room, he was sitting on the bed, fully dressed, but had the room completely dark, even the blinds closed except one lamp in the corner of the room, which is like kind of weird. I don't understand how you even like clean a hotel room, but she was just doing her job. She came back to give him towels, and he was still dressed and in the dark, sitting on the bed. I don't know. I don't understand why he's not moving. But on the way out, after she dropped off the towels, she realized that on the table there was a note that said, "Don, I will be back in 15 minutes. Wait." Next day, the maid came in, door was locked, but from the outside. I didn't realize that some hotels back in the day, you could lock from the outside. I don't know why, but they did. Architect or engineer or whatever you need to be to figure that out. So she was like, "Oh, okay, he probably left and locked the door," because it also had like a do not disturb sign on, but whatever. She went in because she got to clean the room, and to her surprise, he was in the room and he was still sitting on the bed fully dressed. So I'm like, is this man paralyzed? Like, what is he doing? Is he meditating? It's just weird. I don't know. And then, as you can probably conclude, someone locked him in the room. We don't really know why. I'm assuming it's Dom, but I don't really know who Dom is either. She's cleaning the room and the phone starts ringing, and the man picks it up and he says, "No, Don, I don't want to eat. I am not hungry." I was like, okay, whatever. He already ate breakfast. She then left the room as it was, and then she came back with fresh towels. She knocked on the door, but this time she heard 2 voices, and a man with a deep voice asked who it was, and she said, "Housekeeping, I have towels for you." And the man said, "We're good, we don't need any towels," but they didn't have any towels in the room. Very strange. So the next morning,
I need to find part 2 to that, man. Wow, what was he sitting on?
So if you've been following along with the Lindsay Shiver case, you know the woman who hired a man and her boyfriend to her husband. Check this out. Not only is she out on bond, but her husband, you know, the guy she was trying to off, he gave his approval for it. He's a lot nicer than me, because if somebody was trying to end my life, I would make them sit behind bars for as long as possible to think about what the hell they did.
Yeah.
Instead, she's out enjoying the beautiful white sands of the Bahamas.
Bahamas. That is where an American wife and mother of 3 is now out on bond after allegedly plotting to have her husband killed. Joining us from the Bahamas, Court TV crime and justice correspondent Matt Johnson is there, and Lindsay Shiver. I know she had to check in today. Matt, what's the latest there?
Part of her requirement, Ted. Nice to see you. Happy afternoon. So, yeah, she has to check in every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Today was the first check-in. We're learning new details about her release. Court TV being told that she's now living here in the white sand beach behind me here in Cable Beach of the Bahamas. And also, you know, we are learning that it wasn't her husband that put up the $100,000 cash bond. It was family members from her side of the family that wired the money over after she was able to obtain a lease in this area. And again, that was part of the requirements for her to be released. But it was her husband, Robert, who she is accused in this murder for hire plot, allegedly trying to conspire and kill, who approved her being released in the first place. We are also hearing more details about her first check-in. Today, she went to the Cable Beach police station early this morning. Again, she spent 19 days in Fox Hill Prison, one of the most notorious prisons in the world. Now she's been released, and today checking in, telling reporters it's been tough. I really can't say much right now on the advice of her attorneys. It's been hard. I can't speak about it. I'm sorry. Thank you for being respectful. The former Alabama beauty queen and mother of 3 also required to stay away from not only her husband, but her kids, not have contact with them, and also no contact with her co-conspirators, her lover here on the island, and also that alleged hitman.
And those conspirators also checking in today as well.
They are at a different location at the Central Police Headquarters here in Nassau. Those 2 co-conspirators, defendants, were in court with her earlier this week. Now, they live in Abaco, which is a flight of about 30 minutes away. Court TV in our investigation, we traveled to that island yesterday, and we also went to the scene of the crime, according to prosecutors in the Crown here in the Bahamas. We have to take a ferry to Grabber's Bar and Grill. That's where Lindsay's lover, Terrence Bethel, had worked, and where police were investigating an unrelated crime, where they say they uncovered the murder for hire plot with text messages with the alleged hitman in all of this, Farron Newbold. Court TV interviewed one of his family members as we were doing our investigation.
Isn't that some shit? Things have been hard. Oh, well, poor you. I think what's harder is the fact that your 3 innocent sons were about to have to live the rest of their life without their daddy. And now, because of what you did, they're probably going to have to be raised without their mommy. That's harder. They're the victims. Your husband is the victim, not you.
In public toilets as a way to relieve his stress. There was a swarm of 20,000 bees that followed a car for 2 days because their queen bee was trapped inside. 90% of people in China and Singapore now own their homes. In the US and Canada, that number is only 65%. In Germany and Switzerland, that number is only 43%, but it's because they have specific incentives for long-term renting, and they have strong tenant protections that we just don't have. NASA dumps 500,000 gallons of water on their rockets before takeoff just to make sure, you know, it doesn't blow itself up. There was a study of over 1 million comments from over 15 years of relationship advice on the subreddit for relationship advice. The red line on this graph is the advice to just end the relationship, and you can tell from 2010 to 2025, that advice got a lot more potent. 13 Call of Duty games have come out since Grand Theft Auto 5.
Sorry, God, what? Seriously, if you're about to drink cold water, don't, apparently. Don't ever do it again. I mean, first of all, it's don't drink fizzy drinks. They're bad for you. Then, obviously, you've got to drink filtered water or bottled water or whatever. But now, just don't drink water at all, apparently. I don't actually believe I'm saying this, but saw this video the other day, take a quick watch.
If you're drinking cold water or even your cold beverages, listen up. This can have serious implications on your digestion.
Now, this guy claims that if you drink cold water, it's actually extremely bad for you. Apparently, cold and freezing water causes serious implications in your digestive system when you actually drink it. It doesn't really make that much sense, if I'm being honest with you. As I say, a lot of doctors claim this is true. They literally say, no, if you drink cold, really, really cold water, you could actually die at some point. die, but there is no actual evidence in supporting this, so I don't really get it. But a lot of people are warning people to just drink room temperature water, which, yeah, I'm alright, thanks mate, don't fancy doing that. I mean, we all know the best feeling when you're really thirsty and you have a big ice cold drink. So whatever these claims people are saying, I don't know, but I mean, I don't remember the last time someone died from drinking cold water.
Oh, I was growing.
Bro, I just drank some cold water last night, man. So now you telling me I gotta stay away from that, bro? Room temp only? I don't know if I can do that, man. I'm going to dive deep into that research, bro. Is that cold water really bad for you? That's a head scratcher.
Nuck was absolutely terrified of the running lines in swimming pools, because I was. This is going to be the dumbest video you watch today, and I'm not even ashamed, but this is one of my biggest phobias, and it always has been, is these frickin' running lines on the bottom of swimming pools. Why were they so terrifying? Also, this little, like, rope thing that separated the different lanes in the pool. I'm so weird. Like, am I the only one? I know I'm not, because I get comments all the time, but oh my god, why is this so freaky? Here's a photo of it completely underwater with this little drop off. I hate this. I have a huge phobia of swimming pools. This is disgusting. Call me dramatic, call me stupid all you want. I don't care. This is stupid. This is crazy. Definitely one of my dumbest phobias ever. But those running lines, they look like giant snakes when I was little. You know that I have a phobia of paintings on the bottom of swimming pools, but like those lines in particular, hate it. And here they are in a drained pool that has been abandoned. Love that for me and you. And once again, another photo of an abandoned pool with the lines where it's drained. I hate this.
So apparently, all energy drinks are not made equal. And Monster Energy Drink itself is now marketing an energy drink just for women. So if you have not been focused on the energy drink game, there's a brand new energy drink that's being marketed just for women, and it will be out early 2026. Meet Monster Energy's new female-focused energy drink, Flirt. Believe it or not, the claims of this product, Flirt, are that it's supposed to support many things that women really care about. Collagen, skin, hair, you name it, it'll support it. So apparently this is the first drink that is on the market to keep women both alert, energized, and have their skin looking amazing. The one difference with this new Flirt is the size of the cans. They are only 12 ounces. Well, as far as I know plenty of females that have cracked open a Monster Energy drink and just, chugged it back and enjoyed it. Why did they have to go and make a female Monster Energy drink with all the funky colors on the can and different designs, and then come up with the name Flirt? What does that even entail? So I guess my question to you is, will you be buying and trying, or are you just satisfied with the regular Monster that they sell now? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
New study has found that raccoons are showing early signs of domestication. Dogs, you may have competition. Now, the study conducted at the University of Arkansas suggests that raccoons living in urban areas in North America are physically changing in response to life around humans. The researchers suggested that domestication starts when wild animals start hanging around humans and adapt on their own, rather than us domesticating them. Dogs hung around ancient garbage piles and cats showed up for the mice that followed. But in this process over hundreds of years, physical changes were also observed. Shorter snouts, smaller heads, floppy ears, and white patches of fur. This pattern, which is noted all the way back in the 1800s, is called the domestication syndrome. And raccoons in the Big 25 and before GTA 6 might have that syndrome. Of the 20,000 raccoons observed across the US, researchers discovered that the ones living in the city have shorter snouts than the ones living in rural areas. Bro, what even is this year?
You think you know the truth about aliens? Well, wait until you see what them government insiders say. Amazon Prime is dropping a documentary that's going to change the way everybody thinks. The Age of Disclosure features 34 high-ranking officials. I'm talking intelligence, military, Congress. Names like Mark Rubio pop up, dropping statements like, something is flying over our nuclear facility, and it's ours. They're intelligent. And a secret global race can reverse engineer alien technology. And this ain't fun fact about UFOs. We're talking possible national security threats, tech we can't reverse engineer yet, and power structures that may already know more than they're telling. If these claims are real, it's time to question who's really pulling the strings. This documentary is going to show hard-to-deny testimony, pilots, intelligence officers, missile site witnesses that say they saw the crabs that wasn't human. This shit is going beyond We Are Alone. This shit is basically about who's been here all along and what tech they left behind. You gotta ask yourself, why are they releasing this shit now? Right when AI is on the rise. Right when space projects are accelerating. This might not just be a disclosure. This might be conditioning. So when you watch this shit like they're finally saying what everybody's been thinking. Because that's what this shit is gonna be like. I'm out.
Okay.
Their symbolism will be their downfall. Did y'all see that they included black horses in the opening, the introduction of the ceremony today? I feel like they are ramping up with the symbolism. I feel like Satan knows he does not have a lot of time left. And so he is 110% ramping up, going 0 to 100. And I feel like a lot of us are asleep and we are not seeing the symbolism that is right in front of us. So I asked the Bible app Haven about this apocalyptic symbolism that I feel like a lot of people is not seeing. I said, what does the Bible say about a black horse? So Haven responds with, Revelation 6:5, and it talks about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and that it brings famine and scarcity. Remember, famine and scarcity. But I want to know more. I said there was some symbolism on the world stage with Donald Trump and black horses for a ceremony, okay? So then Haven says, it sounds like you're connecting the Bible to biblical symbolism in real life involving Donald Trump. I feel like this mockery it's like a slap in the face, because guess what? Revelation 6:5 says, when he opened the third seal, he heard the beast say, come and see. Beheld, lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. You're seeing this biblical symbolism on the world stage. Not just America, it's everywhere. We're seeing this same exact symbolism.
Pfizer is a conspiracy that involves the Vatican. This man, who was a monk in Italy, named Pellegrino Ernetti, and he had this skill set of restoring old Gregorian chants. And he was working with this other guy who was his boss, and then the guy who he was working with, the guy heard his father's voice. He's like, that sounds like my dad, this frequency that was coming in. He heard his father talking about shining shoes or a shoe repair or something. He's like, that is my father, because he was a cobbler. They're able to tap into this whole past life. And so that got Father Pellegrino to start doing research into what he called residual energy. He theorized that that could be detected. He went back, fragments had remained, and no one knew what the play was. He went back and was able to watch the whole play and write down the entire play. That is nuts, so dude. They went to the Pope with it, and the Pope said, you have to get rid of it. He said, this is way too dangerous to have. Supposedly, they dismantled it, but there's a lot of people theorizing that the Vatican still has it, they still use it, and potentially the CIA is involved in it.
Oh, she's possessed. Straight up. Wait, something's going on. Her face doesn't look like herself.
Yo, I've seen this video. It's a couple that does these hauntings. And one of them was they actually explored a prison where a lot of people died, right? So this is when the husband was really scared. They have a code word whenever they go, so you know that they're still there with you, right? The wife's sitting there and she's smiling. In the video, she even says, look in my eyes, because her eyes were just looking at someone in the distance. Husband was like, baby, you remember our code word? And she's like, we don't have a code word. Don't be funny. I don't know what that is.
We don't have it. We have a word safe word. What's the word safe word? No. Come on.
I just want to go.
Come on.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. That was not good.
The husband's like, okay, we have to get out of here. Let's do a ritual on you real quick before we go, because this is haunted.
Yeah. Oh, she's possessed. Straight up.
Yeah, she said this is the first time I felt like an
What's the safe word?
Like a safe word.
What's the safe word?
And how we don't have a safe word.
Oh, that's crazy. We have a word safe word.
And they always have a safe word.
That's wild.
You trying to exorcise me?
I'm this congregatio. It's secta diabolic.
This is not what you're supposed to hear from supposedly the happiest place on earth. And that's why you need to listen up. Something weird is happening at Disney, and y'all cannot ignore this. 5 people have died at the World Disney Resort within a month. And the latest one that happened, it happened at the Saratoga Spring Resort on November 8th. People are saying that's a quiet resort, and you would never expect something like that to happen, let alone at Disney, because like they said, it's the happiest place on earth. Nobody's saying Disney is not safe, but when the same theme park keep having incidents happen within a short time period, people gonna start asking questions, and rightfully so, because it's a little weird. It's becoming a little weird. Once, twice maybe, but 5? It's crazy how life works. It did. But why go to a happy place to do that? It's weird. Or if it's natural, just imagine you go to a place where you vacation at with your family, make memories, have fun, and then that's the last place you ever was alive. Y'all let me know what
this right here is the first household humanoid robot you can buy today for just $20,000. It's called Neo. But here's what they're not telling you in the marketing. Almost nothing you see in those promotional videos is actually autonomous. Those tasks are being performed by humans wearing VR headsets remotely controlling the robot. When you buy Neo and it can't figure out how to do something, which is most tasks, a human operator connects remotely and takes control. They can see through the robot's cameras into your home while they manually do your dishes. The few things it can do autonomously, opening doors, fetching basic objects, that's about it. And it's painfully slow. 5 minutes to load 3 items into a dishwasher, over a minute to walk 10 feet and get water from the fridge, 4-hour battery life before it needs to recharge. It can't handle anything hot, heavy, or sharp. Frequent failures, needs breaks to cool down. And you're paying $20,000 for the privilege of beta testing their unfinished product while strangers remotely control a robot in your house. This is the reality gap. Marketing shows a fully autonomous home assistant. Reality is a remote-controlled robot with severe limitations that requires human operators to do most tasks while watching your private life through its cameras. When the robot made you pay 20 grand for needs a human to actually do the work, are you buying automation or just expensive remote labor with a privacy problem? It means
That's freaking iRobot right there, man. It's literally in the movies, but why aren't people paying attention, man? The fact that it's $20,000 too, and it's not even a freaking finished product, that's diabolical, bro. They say it's like for beta testing and stuff like that. I don't know who's getting that, man. And to name it Neo, bro. Like after the movie The Matrix. That's crazy work.
6-7 is actually demonic. So the guy who made the song 6-7, his name is Skrilla. And even more worse for Skrilla, he does witchcraft. He literally practices Santeria. During all of his concerts and appearances, he wears these creepy masks. And he also worships demons. And even more insane, every demon has their own number. For example, one demon will be assigned number 6, another will be assigned number 41. And the demons that Skrilla worships are number 6 and 7. Oh, but it gets even more insaner. When Skrilla is practicing Santeria, he's literally shared videos of him doing weird things to chickens and goat heads, where he does SACRAFICES to them. And Skrilla constantly talks about selling his soul and how he's a vampire, and that his clothes are spiritual and like casting a spell. And now a lot of people feel like it is mocking faith. He literally had babies doing the 6-7. Now parents are mad at teachers because entire classrooms were doing this. It was showing up everywhere. And now some people are even saying that the 6-7 kid is an industry plant from the devil himself. And I say himself because we all know the devil is a man because women aren't evil. Will you ever say 6-7 again?
Shit. Ariana Grande has caused quite a storm on social media this week, and it's all to do with the dress that she wore for the Grammys. And yes, the Grammys has been some time, but people weren't actually paying attention. So Ariana Grande basically wore this red glitter dress, but what a lot of fans didn't actually realise was that it actually had a red shoe on the back. And as much as some people think it's nothing more than a reference to Dorothy's shoes from The Wizard of Oz, other people are actually speculating that Ariana Grande is in fact referencing the Red Shoe Club. So what is the Red Shoe Club? The Red Shoe Club allegedly is for the elite, filled with high-list celebrities, parts of the royal family and even politicians. It is a club in which they kidnap, traffic, kill and even sometimes eat young children. People believe that the red shoes are actually made from human skin, and the people who wear them are part of this. Wearing the shoe is basically a symbol to others about their power. Don't shoot the messenger because I just think it's a Dorothy reference.
Alright, quick update. NASA just held their live stream about 3i Atlas. Here's the highlights. I'm going to show you the images and I'm going to give you my take on the whole thing. So they opened by immediately shutting down all the hype, the speculation, rumors. Straight out of the gate, they said, this is a comet. There's no mystery, just a standard classification of a comet. They did say that their teams were still quietly tracking 3I Atlas through the whole government shutdown. So, you know, they've been collecting data nonstop, basically. They then showed some images, and they showed it from multiple spacecraft. So they started with the Psyche spacecraft. They then showed an image from the Lucy, and the Maven was next. And then they also showed something from the SOHO missions. NASA has launched a dedicated 3I Atlas page with a whole bunch of imagery up there, so I'll link it down below so that you can dig through it yourself and check it out. Now, they did emphasize that they're still going through tons of data. So they said there's going to be more images, more analysis, and more detailed information that will be released in the near future. Look, overall, though, it was underwhelming. It was interesting to some degree, but nothing mind-blowing. No big surprises, no dramatic reveals, very conservative overall. Did you watch it yourself? Do you feel like they answered your questions at all? Or do you think NASA is still holding back? Let me know your take.
I mean, if they really legit did find something, could they even say it? So I guess do you think they was like trying to play it down on purpose, man? I'll be seeing all these 3I Atlas videos on YouTube, bro. People have many theories of what it could be, and when that actually picture came out, I saw it. It was like so blurry. People was like, "Wow, that's what we're tracking." So there could be more behind the story.
The chapel that has a staircase in the church that does not use wood, any nails, any glue from this earth. So, have you ever heard about the mystery of the Loreto Chapel? Never heard about it. So, here's the story. They're building this chapel in New Mexico, right? And the French architect in charge suddenly dies before finishing the staircase to the choir loft. So the nuns, they pray to St. Joseph for like 9 days, hoping someone will come and build the stairs. On the last day of their prayer, this guy shows up out of nowhere, like literally from the desert, riding a donkey. He just walks into the church and says he was sent to build the stairs. In just 3 months, he builds the entire staircase, and then poof, he's gone. Didn't even ask for payment or anything. So the nuns, they go to the lumberyard to see if they owe anything for the wood, but the workers are like, nah, this guy never came here to get wood, and here's the craziest part. There's not a single nail used in the entire staircase. So the chapel's curator, right, he's like, okay, we need to figure this out, and brings in over 120 experts to examine it. They all say the same thing, it's physically impossible to build a staircase like that.
Y'all seen this yet? There's something going on in the Caribbean, y'all, because Melissa just came through and destroyed Jamaica, right? And now, right, not just Jamaica, but Haiti as well. But check this out. Now Haiti's name says Haiti instead of Haiti. And this is a federal map too. This is the aviation map. They're showing you guys this is Haiti. But nonetheless, y'all, something's going on because this was spotted today. And the weather started acting weird around this general area. People are still hearing loud booms around the world. And then all of a sudden this pops up in the Caribbean. And did you guys see what's happening in Jamaica right now, y'all?
Brutalize the trees and leave them with no limbs nor leaves. We're now experiencing a major fire here from West Africa.
Something is going on in the Caribbean, especially with Jamaica, man. These people cannot get a break. Look at the trees. The trees are barren. They're dead. And now something sparked a fire out there. See, I told y'all there's a lot of action going on in Jamaica right now because my friend just sent me a video of meteorites in Jamaica. This was just a few days ago. Remember earlier this year, this also happened, and now it's happening again. You know they talk about that dragon, that Leviathan waking up in the Jamaica, right? Y'all know about that, right? I literally just posted a video about a Jamaican guy talking about the Leviathan, but look, check this out, y'all. Look at this, look. Look at the head, look at the snout. Y'all see that? Jamaica's right there, and Haiti right there. That's why a lot of stuff be happening there, y'all. Y'all see that? It's literally the eye of the dragon, the snake. Y'all see that? And they talking about this thing is waking up. That's probably why that fire is there. Like the nose, y'all see that? The times are here. We are in prophecy. This would make sense as to why there's a cleansing going on in Haiti and Jamaica right now. But this is all part of the shift, y'all. I've been telling y'all, the shift is here. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's continue to get.
So you probably didn't know that one day could save your life. Part 9. Condoms are useful for a number of reasons, but if you need a quick way to store liquid, they can actually hold up to a gallon of water, plus they're waterproof, so you can safely store things like matches, electronics, and pretty much anything that shouldn't get wet. If you ever find yourself being dragged underwater by an alligator, shove your fingers into its nose. This breaks the seal alligators need to keep water out of their airways and will make them release you immediately. Each railroad crossing has a number on it. So if your car ever gets stuck on a train track, call 911, give them this number, and they'll notify the oncoming trains to stop. Truck drivers often receive information about dangerous weather, hazards, and accidents before other drivers do, so if you ever see one pulled over or driving differently, it may be a sign that danger is ahead.
Let's talk about the Wendigo.
Store those
The Wendigo is
facts.
said to be a supernatural evil being in North America. They have a hunger that can't be satisfied, so they eat whatever and whoever they want. And just like skinwalkers, they can imitate hurt humans in need of help in order to get you to come to their rescue.
Whoa. Wendigo sighting?
Sounds like he was eating some spicy booty. Clearly they don't do a good job at imitating us. Some people even have videos of them in the forest.
She said deuces.
I got something screaming down there. I don't know what this is, man. Something f***ing screaming down there, man. Hello?
Wendigo, more like when to go, because that's exactly how I scream in the bathroom after eating Taco Bell.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And look at this video of one in a cave.
That might be an edit. Might have to call cap on that.
There's 3 ways to defeat them. Setting them on fire, stabbing it through the heart with a silver knife or bullet. Or just not go near one if you hear them screaming. Stay home! There is nothing good outside.
Things you never knew the purpose of.
He was spitting.
Small buttons on jeans are called rivets, and they're placed in the places with the most wear and tear to prevent your pants from ripping. The tiny pocket on jeans is supposed to hold a pocket watch. It's a design from the 1800s.
Whoa.
The bottom line of a solo cup is roughly about 1 shot. The second line is for wine, and the third line is for beer. The neck shape of a beer bottle is designed to incentivize you to hold it from there so that you don't warm your beer before you finish it. These static wicks on an airplane exist in order to reduce the chances of the plane being struck by lightning. The arrow on the gas gauge for your car points in the direction of which side the gas tank is on your car. These orange balls only exist to help make power lines more visible to low-flying aircraft. The dimpled ridges on a golf ball help reduce the drag when it's flying through the air, making it go further and faster.
The more you know, man. We learning.
Embarrassingly dumb ways people passed away. Part 4. In 1997, a 25-year-old Brazilian cyclist named Marcelo was riding his bike through an airfield in Sao Paulo while listening to music. Not paying attention to his surroundings, he ended up coming into contact with the propeller of a landing plane, ending his life immediately and damaging the wings and blades of the plane. Next, in 2008, a biology teacher from Bulgaria was driving with 2 friends and decided to randomly pull over and begin dumping leftover jars of chemicals into a manhole. These chemicals included highly flammable liquids, and when they came in contact with the sewage, they caused a powerful explosion that sent the manhole cover flying, decapitating the teacher. In 1999 in Cambodia, 3 friends were at a bar drinking. They began arguing until one of them got out of their seats and pulled out a 25-year-old anti-tank mine that he found in his backyard. He then set it under the table and came up with the idea to drink while stomping on the mine. Everyone in the restaurant evacuated quickly, minutes before one of the men accidentally set the mine off. And in 2016, a pastor from Zimbabwe made a promise to walk into a river and then rise above the water, and this excited many of his followers. After fasting for a week, he went to fulfill his promise at Crocodile River, only to be devoured by crocodiles before he could even attempt to perform this miracle.
Why would he, if he's gonna try to walk on water, why would he do it at a Crocodile River? The name is literally in the Crocodile River. That's the place you wanted to test it out at. People, man, they do some of the most bizarre things. You really just can't explain it.
This is why you shouldn't drink tap water.
I don't drink tap. You have to stay away from that. What we about to see, bro? No. What the hell is that? Organisms, man. Our eyes are so small that we can't even see.
We're always told to drink a lot of water throughout the day, but have you ever wondered what happens when you drink too much water? Well, 35-year-old Ashley Summers drank 64 ounces of water in a span of 20 minutes and passed away from water toxicity. Ashley, her husband, and 2 daughters were at Lake Freeman in Indiana when she began feeling dehydrated. So she drank 4 bottles of water because for some reason she wasn't able to quench her thirst. Ashley complained about having a horrible headache and she began to feel lightheaded. When she got home with her family, she passed out in the garage and she was taken to the hospital where the doctor said she had brain swelling. Ashley never woke up and she was pronounced dead from water toxicity. A toxicologist said that this is more likely to happen to someone who's extremely dehydrated, which will cause them to drink too much water and not enough sodium or electrolytes. So remember, bring more than just water on really hot days, especially if you're under the sun for a long period of time.
This 98-year-old
Man, what the hell? She too much water. That's like one of the first times I've ever heard something like that, man. I guess when you get, like you said, when you get dehydrated, you gotta bring something other than water, because if you just down a whole bunch of water, I guess your system can't take it all in, especially when you're dehydrated. So keep that in mind.
Woman had her life ended in a snuff film. Margaret Douglas was a woman who lived in Ohio, and even at 98 years old, she lived by herself and was described by her family as being fiercely independent and healthy. Margaret told her family that the thing she was most excited about was being able to reach the age of 100 in just 2 short years, but sadly, her life would be brutally ended before she got to that point. In April of 2018, Margaret's partially nude body would be found stuffed inside of her bedroom closet, having been strangled to death. Margaret's 17-year-old neighbor, Gavin Ramsey, would eventually be brought in for questioning after several concerning videos and photos were found on his cell phone. The videos depict Gavin breaking into Margaret's home and then filming her while she slept on the couch for several minutes. After several minutes of watching her sleep, Gavin would jump on top of Margaret and proceed to strangle her to death. Afterwards, the video and photos would depict Gavin masturbating over top of Margaret's dead body before using her hands to masturbate himself. When asked why he did it, Gavin simply stated that he wanted to know what it felt like to take another human's life. He was quickly found guilty and is currently serving life in prison.
By the end of this video, you're not going to be able to look at this photo the same way. This photo looks completely innocent, a middle-aged man reading to a bunch of kids. But this man is Paul Schaefer, and he's the leader of one of the worst cults you've probably never heard of. Paul was a Nazi during World War II, and after the war, he fled to Chile to basically start his own prison camp. I talk about it more in this week's podcast episode, but he brought a bunch of other Germans to Chile under the guise of "let's escape Germany." But once they were all there and he had them in the middle of nowhere, he started subjecting them to torture. And unfortunately, no one got it worse than the children in the camp. Upon arrival, kids were stripped from their parents, told they no longer had parents, and were beaten if they tried to talk to them. Pal also started a hospital in the area which was just a way for him to abduct local Chilean boys. If a young boy went in for a checkup, he would have the nurses sign adoption paperwork and he wouldn't return the boys to their families. And this is all because Powell was an abuser of the worst kind, and he did all this to create a society where he basically had unfettered access to young boys. And eventually, he turned his cult into a death camp. There are over 600 people who went missing at this camp, and most of them are local Chileans. Anyways, this whole story is so wild, and I encourage you to listen to the whole thing in this week's episode.
Sounds like a wild episode, man. Signing over kid.
Weird War Facts, Part 5. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, the US government issued Mickey Mouse gas masks in case of a chemical attack. The incentive was to make them appear less scary to kids, but most people don't think it worked. An atomic bomb cameraman accidentally ripped off his safety goggles a few seconds before the bomb exploded. He immediately covered his eyes with his hands, and when the bomb detonated, he saw the bones of his hands through his closed eyelids just like an X-ray. When the Soviet Union was pushing towards Berlin during World War II, a Nazi SS soldier was forced to play piano for his captors. They made it clear to him in sign language that he would be executed the moment he stopped playing. He played for 22 straight hours, after which he collapsed in tears. They congratulated him.
This baby was found after being missing for 51 years, y'all. This baby's name was baby Melissa, and she went missing when she was 21 months old, and her parents needed to find a babysitter so that they can go to work and be able to make money. Now, this happened back in 1971. Like I said, she was 21 months old, and her mother looked in the newspaper for a babysitter, and she found one. Now, this babysitter allegedly got baby Melissa, and after her mom got off work, she was gone. And she has been missing for 51 years. 51 years. And she gave her a whole new name, a whole new identity. It raised her under the pretenses that she was her child instead of telling her real identity. Fast forward 51 years later, she has been found. And, I mean, obviously her birth parents are no longer living, but the fact that she has been found after that long is absolutely fascinating and really tells you how a lot of these missing persons cases that they might still be alive.
Here's the most unsolved mysteries with the most chilling phone call, part 1. Trigger warning, all of these stories you're about to see are real and documented, and every single one of these are still unsolved to this day. For our first story tonight, there's this young girl named Antoinette. On April 6, 1986, her and her sister were up at 3 a.m. at the house. At just 9 years old, they heard a knock on the door. She said, "Who is it?" And this man said, "Uncle Joe, please let me in, it's cold out here." According to her sister's reports, as soon as Antoinette opened the door, 2 men grabbed her and put her in a brown van. Here's where everything gets super creepy. Her sister said that she kicked and screamed all the way to the van. 1 year later, the police received this phone call, and what you're about to hear literally gives me chills.
I'm Antoinette Garibito. Okay, whereabouts in Albuquerque? Hello?
Whoa.
And this is why you should never kiss a baby on the lips.
This is a result of somebody kissing her on the mouth. When parents say not to kiss their children, this is one of the reasons.
This is a recent photo of 8-year-old Brie Lynn. She was born healthy, but as a baby, she was kissed on the lips by someone who had a cold sore, and her life changed forever. So after this happened, she began having seizures and became extremely sick. And since as a baby, your immune system is not developed, the HSV infection attacked her brain and left her with a severe brain injury. Her mother explains that the left side of her brain is 60% damaged and the right side is 10% damaged. And because of this, Brie Lynn has never been able to walk or talk, and doctors don't even know how long she'll live. There was actually another child in the past who had the same thing happen to them, and they only lived until the age of 7. And here's the thing, many people can argue that they've kissed their baby and nothing like this has ever happened, but this is still very possible, especially if you have a contagious virus in your system. I mean, just to be safe, we should all avoid doing this.
Yeah, man, I mean, don't let random strangers, I guess, I don't know if the person was random, but even, I guess, family friends don't even try to freaking kiss the baby, because like she said, the baby's immune system, it's new, so they can't fend off diseases like we can. You may just think it's all sweet and innocent, but if the person tells you, man, don't kiss the baby, just as the baby, just follow what they're saying, man, because you never know what could happen. That's gonna make me way more cautious now. That's an edit. Call them out,
Really
man.
weird human body facts that I can guarantee you didn't know. Your penis has rifling. That's why the stream twists. Girls who are born at altitude reach puberty a lot faster than girls born at sea level. In some cases of brain surgery, they peel your face forward like a banana peel.
Wow, really?
Remember the Old Navy supermodels? They were mannequins that Old Navy came out with in 2008 during the recession. The mannequins had their own personalities and even relationships with each other. And they were to be treated like celebrities, and they even had social media profiles. Supermodels commercials were extremely fleshed out, and there was even drama between the models. Like, they would like gang up on each other. There was a little bit of like a Mean Girls thing going on. The commercials for this campaign were like little short films about their lives. There was also a dog. There was even a Supermodelkin Super Search, which was a contest for someone to be the new identity basis for a Supermodelkin. Maggie won, and they literally turned her into a Supermodelkin. In 2011, the Supermodelkins retired in order to make way for Old Navy's new campaign. It was the Old Navy Records campaign and was in partnership with Shazam.
Crazy facts about things in our world. Mohammed is the most popular name worldwide. A teaspoon of a neutron star weighs 10 million tons. The Great Wall of China takes 18 months to walk. The human body is made up of 60% water.
Damn, so we water beings, man. What the hell?
Facts that will blow your mind. Humans are the only animals that enjoy spicy foods. Potato chips cause more weight gain than any other food.
Wow.
It's impossible to hum while you hold your nose. The least interesting day in history was April 11th, 1954. Aldous Huxley and C.S. Lewis died on the same day as JFK. Bigger forks lead you to eat less. The longest living insect is the termite. Chewing gum after a meal reduces heartburn. Dogs can smell cancer. Bees can detect bombs. Follow and comment below which fact blew your mind.
Dogs and bees.
Chilling paranormal encounters caught on camera.
Oh my fucking god, I swear to god, this thing just fucking looked at me. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god.
You saw that? It moved, but it was slow.
You okay? What the hell? What the fuck is going on here? There ain't nobody there. Miss? Hello?
Ooh. Who the hell was crying in that
The
car?
reason I had to move out of my flat. I was home alone.
I saw that. Definitely saw a fish right there or something. And caught all those encounters on camera. Those are brave souls.
These are the most amazing animals in the world. Part 1. The ogre-faced spider can be found in the forests of Australia and Africa, and it's known for having the largest eyes on any species of spider. Their eyes can also absorb 15,000 times more photons than humans. They're able to hear their surroundings from the tiny hairs on their legs, and use it to create one big and one smaller web between their legs, and attract their prey with their waist and snag it. Next, the Watusi is a species of cattle that originated back in ancient Egypt. The biggest characteristic that helps them stand out is their massive horns. These horns can grow up to 8 feet in length, and some of them may never stop growing. The Watusi with the largest recorded horns was in 2004, with horns measuring 40 inches in width.
Damn.
And these horns don't just look awesome, but they function as air conditioners for the animal, because they can control their body temperature and send it out the horns. And finally, the flatfish. Their flat bodies allow them to blend into the ocean floor to easily hide themselves from predators, as well as help them catch their own prey. They're also extremely fast swimmers thanks to their underfin, which gives them an extra boost. These fish also start like any regular fish, with both their eyes on each side of their face. But within a few weeks, one of its eyes slowly migrates its way onto the other side of the face, which makes them look like this.
Flatfish, okay.
This guy could probably hear his ancestors because that's how close he was to meeting them. Let me say, if you ever see this in the water, you need to swim away immediately. Because this, my friends, is a blue dragon, otherwise known as a Glaucus atlanticus. This thing is literally designed to catch a body and then sleep like a baby afterwards. If there's anything I've learned about nature, and it's a little trick, is to never associate yourself with anything blue. Poison dart frog, blue, will fold you like a lawn chair. The blue Malaysian coral snake will fast track you to the afterlife. The blue-ringed octopus, which will give you your own headline. And of course the blue dragon. However, it's not actually a dragon, it's a slug. So unless you wanted to say killed via a slug on your tombstone, don't do what this fool's doing. These animals are commonly found on European, African, and of course Australian coasts. These creatures will literally steal other animals' venom to use it for themselves. They also produce a sting more painful than the Portuguese man of war, feeling like hot knives on your skin. Oh, lovely. And send this video to a friend so they know not to go near it. You could literally save their life.
Creepy last words people said
Don't
right
touch that
before
slug.
dying. A nursing assistant said that she was in a long-term patient's room changing the sheets. The patient would periodically look behind her. She asked the patient what was wrong, and the patient looked in her eyes and asked, "He doesn't scare you?" The nurse was confused, and she asked her who she was referring to, and the patient said, The big man in the top hat. He's standing right behind you. She said that she doesn't think that she has ever finished changing a bed sheet and repositioning a patient as fast as she did that night. She refused to go into that room by herself for the rest of her shift. Linda Johnson, a former nurse, said that she had a gentleman in his late 90s who was dying. He started screaming blood-curdling screams, so they raced to his room. He was screaming that the room was on fire and that there was a man with large horns peering out of the flames. He kept pointing to one wall, saying that it was on fire. The nurses turned on the lights and tried to calm and console him, but to no avail. Instead of being consoled, Linda said that he told her that she was on fire and that he could see her being consumed by flames. Linda said that it was the creepiest thing that has ever happened to her. The doctor was notified, but nothing relieved the patient's terrifying hallucinations. He died soon after. Cynthia said that several years ago, her 20-year-old daughter had brain surgery. She got an infection of the spinal fluid. She was there in grave condition for a month. Cynthia never left her daughter's side. One night, the worst night at this point, she asked who the man in black was that was standing by the bathroom and why Cynthia's deceased brother, the girl's uncle, was standing next to her at the side of the bed. Cynthia immediately got the chills. She told her daughter, "They're not here." Then she told her brother and the man in the black, whom she couldn't see, "You both have to go now. She's not ready to go and I'm not ready to let her go." After that night, her daughter started to get better and better each day. Today, her daughter is doing well.
Thanks to a deathbed confession, a nearly 24-year-old cold case was closed this week when the bodies of a missing girl and her mother were found. 10-year-old Natasha Alex Carter and her mother Susan disappeared from their home in Beckley, West Virginia in August 2000. But at first, police initially reported that Alex may have been abducted by her mother. In a press release from December 2021 about the case, the FBI Pittsburgh said, quote, "At the time of their disappearance, Susan Carter and Alex's father were having a custody dispute, and Alex moved in with her mother and mother's new husband," which it's not confirmed that it was actually her mother's new husband, but they moved in, and then not long after that, Susan and Alex disappeared. But while it was initially suspected as a parental abduction by Susan, after the two remained missing, an investigation into other possibilities ensued, but unfortunately, the case went cold. In 2021, the FBI reopened the cold case and started looking into the man Susan and Alex were living with, Larry Webb. Searches of his home were done in 2022 and 2023, and they found a bullet embedded in the wall of what was Alex's bedroom. The bullet was tested for DNA, and it confirmed that blood on it belonged to Alex. In October 2023, Larry Webb was indicted on first-degree murder charges for Alex's death, despite Alex and Susan's bodies never being found. Due to his deteriorating health, though, Webb was not arrested until April 12, 2024, but since then he was being held without bond. On Monday, he had a medical episode, after which, in a, quote, come-to-Jesus moment on his deathbed, he confessed to authorities what he had done. Webb claimed that on August 8, 2000, he had gotten into an argument with Susan over money. He said he was missing some cash and believed that she had taken it and spent it. The argument escalated and he shot her, and then he ended up shooting Alex so there would be no witnesses. Webb then wrapped their bodies in bed linens and placed them in the basement that night. Over the next 2 nights, he dug a shallow grave in the woods on his property, eventually burying them in his clothes, and then walking free for the next 20 years. On April 22, 2024, Larry Webb died at Mount Olive Correctional Complex, and 6 hours later, Susan and Alex's remains were found at his property in Beckley. Unfortunately, now that Webb is dead, he cannot be charged in connection to their deaths. At least now they have been found and can be properly laid to rest. Alex's father, Rick Lafferty, said after the discovery, quote, "It's kind of a sad day, but also a happy day because I can bring my baby home." Rest in peace, Alex and Susan.
Okay, so I just found this bug in my rug and I killed it, and it came from right here. So I grabbed some gloves and I just want to rake my hands through it because, oh my gosh, if there's any more in here, I'm gonna lose my mind. So I'm just gonna do this real quick. Here we go.
Oh no, we out. That's a dirty carpet. I'm gonna call a cap on that one.
dogs are ready for bed. It's just a peaceful night here. Getting ready to go to bed myself. What the fuck is that? What? Oh, God! Fuck!
They were staring at something. Saw that?
Where'd you get those creepers? Jeepers, creepers. Where'd you get those eyes? Gosh, oh, get
Don't open it.
How'd they get so lit up? Gosh, oh, get up. How'd they get that size? Golly gee, when you turn those heaters on, all is sweet. Got to put my cheaters on. Jeepers, creepers. Where'd you get those peepers? Oh, those weepers. How they hypnotize. Yeah. Where'd you get those eyes? Them there eyes.
That teddy bear was possessed or something? Yeah, it was possessed. He didn't catch that? Tell me he sees that, right? Imagine just staring at yourself in the mirror and you see movement that's not yours. It's like it's glitching. Glitch in the Matrix. Is that his wife or something? Can't keep his hands off of it. What the? I know some tendencies he's doing. Is that a movie premiere or something? Oh man, cannot help himself.
The white demon, this spirit is very unique from other spirits because the way it presents itself is through Polaroid pics. Oh! Have you heard that story? No. So, this happened in LA. There was a guy, his dad gave him a Polaroid camera, right? One night, he was walking to the washroom during night and the door opened randomly. I don't know what made him do this, but the camera that his dad got him, he took a picture of the door and I'll show you what it looked like. It was like a white...
like a face.
Yeah,
right?
it was like a white light. He thought it was a fluke, right?
Yeah.
So, next day, he calls his friend over. Oh, can you take a picture of me beside the door? Boom. Still like a white light.
Yeah,
but
like
it's the
a
same
white
shape. Yeah. So this guy decides to invite all his friends. Let's start taking pictures around the house. Now the pictures start forming. It's not just white light.
Yeah.
One of his friends in the group saying, let me ask it a question and then snap a pic. So he's like, is a spirit here? What the fam? You can see that so clear. Wait, what? Yeah. Now it goes from shapes to I can answer questions now. Yes. What is your name?
Here's how to keep...
Whoa, so there was real life spirits in this house, man? I have to check up on that story. Taking pictures of it. The white light was forming the answers. That's interesting. Very interesting, man. The white light theory. I'll have to check that out.
Go lead the way. Tuck in your sheets real good.
You let me hang around until I learned to care. Didn't you even laugh and leave me crying?
Safe and sound. It worked.
Did it? So he thought it worked. Obviously it didn't.
Lily, come here. Lily, who are you playing with? What are you doing? What?
Amy?
What the f was that?
Amy? Amy?
She asleep? Trying to get the food down too. And them food are expensive nowadays. Open up.
Hey, we'll stop right up here.
Alright, sounds good. Whoa!
What the?
Jeremy? Jeremy! Jeremy! Jeremy!
Ask that we all stand for one last song.
What the hell? Cap on that one. No, notice your baby just blinked out of existence?
I didn't just see a fucking hand. You mad or what? You mad I threw that fucking helmet at you? Do it again. Make some noise. Show me you're fucking real, pussy. Fuck your fucking island. Show me. Fucking Satan ass motherfucker. Show me. Prove to me that you're fucking real. Do it, pussy. What, you mad? Show me. Swing some shit. Make the noises and shit that you did when when you woke me up. Do it. Do it, pussy.
Time to throw hands.
Do it. Oh my fucking gosh, bro.
This was the real life
real-life Squid Game, and it's really horrifying. In 1953, in the small town of Ash Grove, Indiana, a man named Samuel Griggs lived on the edge of the woods. He was quiet, kind, and loved teaching kids games like hide and seek. One summer night, 3 teenagers, Danny, Rose, and Frank, went into the woods to meet Samuel for a game. They never came back. The next day, Sheriff Holt went looking for them. Deep in the forest, he found an old clearing. 3 wooden crosses stood there with the teens' names carved on them. Nearby, he saw an old cabin. Inside, Samuel was sitting at a table, playing with marbles. When the sheriff asked about the kids, Samuel smiled and said, "They played my game, but they lost." On the walls of the cabin were hundreds of names, written in black ink. Samuel leaned forward and whispered, "Want to play too, Sheriff? The rules are simple. Win, and you leave. Lose, and you stay forever." When the sheriff came back the next day with other officers, the cabin was gone. Some say Samuel still lives in the woods, calling out to anyone who dares to play his game. And if you hear him, don't answer. If you lose, you won't come back.
The real life Squid Game.
Putada já, com sono. Aí, Thiago, a câmera que eu comprei nova aí. Vermelhinha e tal. Vocês nem esperaram com a festa aí, né, mano? Festa aí, né, mano? Meu Deus do céu, que porra é essa, velho? Eu vi um...
Heard a baby.
I saw you.
That ain't no damn dog. Glitched out. They saw something.
Horror movies that I loved but will probably never watch ever again. Definitely a one-time watch, so let's talk about them. First up is Speak No Evil, the original 2022 version. So this one is about a Dutch family who meets this Danish family on a holiday vacation. The Danish family invites the other family to come stay with them at their house, and when that happens, it just turns into this very uncomfortable, just very sinister situation. I did watch the remake before I watched this one, and so I kind of already knew how it played out, even though the ending is different. And holy crap, this one is just way more dark, way more disturbing. That ending, I don't know if I could ever watch that ever again. This is probably the heaviest and darkest movie I've ever seen. I was shocked that they showed how things played out. That ending scene, I cannot get that out of my mind. I did really like it and I do recommend it, but just be warned, it is very heavy and you're gonna feel just very gross when you finish. Vivarium is about this couple who are buying a house and they find themselves trapped in this labyrinth-like neighborhood with all these houses that look the same and they just cannot seem to leave. This one is a one-time watch for me, not because it's anything disturbing, but that freaking little boy, I could not stand him. I don't feel like I could watch this again and just listen to him talk and scream and just be his annoying self. If you've seen this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I still liked it, and this is one that I'm going to constantly recommend to people. If you're into like time loop movies, Trapped, sci-fi, there's so many different genres in this, so I think you'll like it. Just be prepared to be freaking annoyed. And the last one is Ghostland, or also known as Incident in a Ghostland.
This is about a mom and her 2 daughters who inherit this house. On the first night of living there, these 2 intruders break in and attack them. They end up surviving and making it out of there. 16 years later, the 2 sisters decide to reunite at the house, and then strange things just start to happen. This one is very heavy and very dark. It does have some implications of something that is very disturbing, but it doesn't show anything. It just implies it. I really like this one because it does feel like a trapped movie where they can't leave, and you kind of don't know what's going on, what's real and what's all in their head. Maybe they just have a lot of trauma from their past experience. I liked this one, and it's one that I'll always recommend to people. I think the only reason I wouldn't watch it again is just because I felt so anxious watching this, and I just don't know if I want to go through that again. I also think just because I know how it plays out, it just wouldn't be the same experience, just all that mystery and build up. I just don't want to take away from that first time.
You guys know, man, I don't check out scary movies, but I always listen to their recommendations. It's interesting, man. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker seeking the truth. I greatly appreciate the support. Make sure you guys comment down below. Hit that thumbs up button, man. Also, hit that post notification bell so you always get notified when I upload my next videos. You guys are going to catch me in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.